Welcome to the Music Review on New Vision TV Online. I'm Joseph Bate, and in the studio I have Grace Baiga and Joaquin Wembo. Very passionate people. They love the music and they talk about it. They're talking about issues in the music, and we're talking about the sudden death of one of my favorite singers, and that was Mose Radio. Just like that, the guy just dies, and then he's gone. And now we are asking, how did that happen? And it's been happening. That, you know, Dance Kumapesa, there was AK-47, there is now Master Blaster, then Mose Radio. It's been going on. And now, who's next? Who is next? Now, that shows you that there's staggering. These guys are killing each other. They are stabbing each other. They are fighting. They are losing teeth. It's terrible. It's bad. Now, how did this staggering come to be?
Two things.
Yeah.
Alcohol, drugs.
Alcohol, drugs.
Drugs.
Okay.
I mean,
so if I take alcohol, does it mean that I have to fight and kill?
Do you know why you're arrested with alcohol? They don't even arrest you for driving, for drinking and driving or something. They arrest you and charge you for driving under the influence, because alcohol, drugs, and anything in that relation just influences your way of thinking and doing things. If you take, drinking alcohol is not bad, but at what limit? People go to the bars or to the clubs from around, by the way, for them they start drinking way before than any other person. So how do you expect that person to think at 8 o'clock when they started drinking at 2 p.m.? They don't have anything else they do. They do not run businesses. I mean, if you had a business and you could go into your business and make sure you sit down and calculate, do your books and sit with your employees and think about your business. By the time you think about going to the bar and you're just going out there to meet your fans, I mean, you can drink a few here and there and you head home, because tomorrow, if you're not in the studio, you're going to be at your business. But this is all they have, time on their hands, until at night when they can go and meet their fans or go to the clubs and perform or at stages. They have nothing, and the only thing they can do there is just look at a bottle of beer, and when they drink and it goes onto their heads and they feel like, yeah, I'm a superstar, for crying out loud, what am I supposed to do? And this is what they do. If you look at these guys when they've been with, I used to go to clubs, but when you see a celebrity coming through, everyone is just like, what? Because you've seen them on TV. That excites them. For them, that's it. I mean, so when they come in, they want to show off. I'm there. I'm the big man. I have my money. I have my fame. My ride is there. I have the Wololos walking all over with me. So they feel so big. Like Joe said, let them manage their fame. They do not know how to manage their fame because they didn't even earn the fame in the right ways. I mean, who scouts these artists? Protocol calls that, you know, as a music scout, my job, like you have football scouts, you have a music scout. I go to a church there and my job is to sit and see how Irene Intare can sing in that church choir. I listen to her voice and then go back tell my agency, I have identified talent. Who does that in Uganda? No one. Everyone just comes on and finds themselves on the scene. Some of them come accidentally, and they just trip and say, let me perform like one song here and there, and then people throw money here and there, and then I'll do it.
Okay, fine. So do we say, okay, being very bold and brutal and, you know, factual, Mose Radio, by 8 a.m. in the morning, he would start drinking. So do we say he paid a price for that? He paid a price for, like the father said, and so forth. Because the father at one time, Father Katerega was saying, I wish somebody had told, because I'm just, you know, what you're saying. I wish he had not gone to the bar. I wish he had stayed at home. Okay? Now, is that how alcohol affected him? So we lost him to that, to the alcohol and the drugs and the marijuana that was there.
I've been analyzing Mose's latest pictures before his death, because I have, people usually say that when someone is about to die, when they take pictures, you can tell. When you look at Mose Radio, when he attended Spice Diana's graduation, just find that picture and put it there. Let people look at him. You couldn't tell that this is Mose. A guy who was, you remember how he looked in Nera, that video? The skin was good. The guy, in Nera was good. He was really good. He's a skinny guy, not that, but he was looking good. But at Spice Diana's graduation, the guy looked frustrated, like it's the end of the world for him. But the person who calls himself a manager, could not identify that and find the right person who can talk to Mose. I know they are hard. Believe me, I know they are arrogant, they can be abusive, they are bossy. You can't tell them anything to do. But you find the person they seek, they trust most, and they talk to them. Mose looked like he was frustrated. Like he had given up. He had given up. But who was there to look out for him? At the chain of all those girlfriends out there, who could come out? I know it's hard. Everyone is going to tell me, Grace, you do not know how to. Yes, I know, but other factors constant. Who could come out and look out for this? That was a tension-seeking situation. The way of him drinking from 8 a.m., what does it tell you?
Because at one time he was even locked in the toilet.
What does that tell you? Locking him in the toilet, but not finding him professional help? Just drag him and take him for rehabilitation in Butawika. The word is there. I mean, people do this. We need to care about our talent. This is the richness we have. The videos they make sell us out there. But we need to come out and protect our talent. The same applies to the chameleons. They are also like that. Bebe cool now. You've seen what they do. It is just that Bobi Wine has just transformed himself right now, being in Parliament. But he has, there has to be someone who pushed him to do this. Who is there for these guys? Who is there for, now Weasel is mourning. Has anyone tried to understand how he's feeling right now? We can lose him too to that, and then he will soak himself into alcohol and drugs. We need to take care of our talent.
Okay, Joachim, I'll turn to you. Grace, thanks very much for that observation. And Joachim, how did this thuggery begin? According to your observation, how did it begin?
Well, we've looked at that, and I think what we need to look now is it started. This fame started on the wrong foot.
Why the wrong foot?
Because it has been nurtured. It has been enhanced the wrong way.
Okay.
It should have started with sing better, train more, practice more, nurture your talent more. The talent is not in drinking. The talent is not in fighting. Otherwise, they would be boxing champions. They should join Moses Golola in kickboxing. So, you see, and the danger, I think the other awakening our musicians should be told, the stars, is that they don't have a monopoly of bad behavior. So, they are going to lose out. In fact, they are already losing out. Because what happened in this festive season we just ended? People were buying tickets to go and be with, people who are not, who is the woman from South, Zari? Who is the other one? Yeah, Donzella. No, people of that nature, Zari, Brian White,
Yeah.
They are also now taking the space of the artists, of the musicians, because they can throw money around, drink, party, and the Ugandan public now want to go and see Zari and see Brian White and see whatever, who have no other. So you can't, you see, the musicians, if they don't now separate themselves from the other people who behave badly, because now it's behaving badly, which is selling, then they may completely lose out. When I prefer to go and, if someone prefers to go and be with Donzella rather than with a great singer. So I think our musicians need to be more awakened that the way they are seeking the fame does not require talent. Anybody can do it. Because people like Bad Black can also cause a crowd to follow them. Also.
Okay.
So how do you compete with Bad Black, yet you have a talent and a training in singing?
I understand.
So I think
So
they need awakening.
Yeah, they need awakening. But the thuggery, if you are to identify I'm calling it the thuggery, the arrogance, which is now, claiming all these innocent lives.
Yeah.
How is it the media? Is it because we are globally wired to the internet and stuff like that? And is there a way that we can,
Now you see, this is a very small economy.
Yeah.
Ideally, we shouldn't be having so-called celebs, because celebrities are people who should be connected to the fashion industry.
Okay.
They have done this, they have done the other, so this new fashion which has come on is being worn by so and so. This is a very small economy, doesn't so? But because it's a disoriented society, we tend to glorify. There are no role models. So if someone stands out by behaving badly, they get the fame. So, and then a musician ends up competing with that. Instead of us giving us your voice, you are giving us your bad behavior, because the society is also kind of acknowledging that bad behavior.
Okay. Yes, that is the end of our second episode. Don't go away. You're watching the music review on New Vision TV Online.